today's class we will study about some questions, numerical questions on material variance. Okay, now material variance, before we start with the numerical questions, we just see the structure of material variance first. Material variance, as I have drawn one structure for this, you can see here material cost variance. It is the first point which you have to understand, material cost variance. Under this cost variance, we have two items, that is material uses variance and material price variance. Now material uses variance is also known as quantity variance. So you can use both the terms, either of these terms, uses also you can say, quantity also you can say, okay. Now under this structure, material uses variance, again it is divided into two parts, material yield variance and material mix variance, okay. Now we will see on these bases how the material variance will be calculated for all these items, that is cost variance how to calculate, quantity variance how to calculate, price variance how to calculate, yield variance and mix variance how to calculate. Now the first question which I have put up is, this is a question, first standard is given, that is for 10 kgs of output. For making 10 kgs of any kind of product, okay, output means any kind of product, 10 kgs of any product, material A and material B is required. Material A is how much? 8 kg of material is required and B is 4 kg of material is required. So when it is coming in kg wise, that means this is the quantity, okay, this is the quantity. And at the rate of 6 rupees, 4 rupees, so these are the price, so this is the P value, okay. A is 8 kgs of material A is required at rupees 6 per kg. B 4 kgs will be required at the rate of 4 per kg to produce 10 kgs of any product. This is the standard. This is standard set by the organization, okay. This much you have to use it to produce 10 kgs of output. But when the workers in the organization are working, actually how much they produce? They were producing 1000 kgs of output, okay, 1000 kgs of output. And for making 1000 kgs of output, material A and B, how much it was required? 750 kgs of A, 500 kgs of B at the rate of 7 rupees and 5 rupees each, okay. Now you can see here standard is for 10 kg and actual is for 1000 kgs, right? If this standard is not for 1000 kg, then we cannot compare this, okay. So we have to make this one equivalent with actual. If 10 kg is there, if 10 kg is in actual also, then we can compare it, okay. But here 10 kg is given and 1000 is given, so we cannot compare it. To make it comparable, standard also have to be for 1000 kgs. We have to know for 1000 kgs how much material A, material B will be required. Okay, for calculating this, I'll show you how we will convert this 10 kg to 1000 kg. That is for A how much will be required and for B how much it will be required. Now for this 10 kgs, right, 10 kgs is, for 10 kgs 8 kg of A is required, right, material A is required. Now if I have to convert it to 1000 kg, now 1000 kg have to be produced, then how much material A will be required? 8 divided by 10 into 1000. So we'll get here 800 kgs, okay. That means now we can say that to produce 10,000 kgs of output, 800 kg of A is required. Now same way for B, this is for A, okay. Now for B, 10 kgs, for producing 10 kgs, how much B was required? 4 kg was required, right? This is B. Now for 1000 kgs, how much will be required? 4 divided by 10 into 1000, that is 400 kgs. So this is for B. So we have converted it. Now it is for 1000 kgs, okay. Now here we don't have to write 1000 kgs, okay. This is for 1000 kg. Now for 1000 kgs, A is how much? 800 kg and for B it is 400 kg. So we have converted it, right. So after we have converted that, now we'll put up this in a working note. We'll make one small working note. After making the working note, then we will calculate all these variances. Now how to do the working note? I have made one table here. First column will be for materials, Next would be standard price. SP means standard price. AP is actual price. AQ, that is actual quantity. SQ, that is standard quantity, and RSQ, that means revised standard quantity. Now we are putting only for 1000 kgs of output. Okay, everything we have calculated the standard quantity and actual quantity is already given in the question. Okay, now I'll put up all the figures in this table first. Now we'll see here material A. Material A is how much given in the question? Material A is A and B, we will write it first. Standard price, we have to check the standard price. Standard price, here standard is given, so price is here, right? 6 and 4. So we'll write here 6 and 4. AP is actual price. Now actual price is given in the actual column, you have to see 7 and 5, right? So 7 and 5. Now we will see the quantity. The actual quantity is how much? Actual quantity, this is the quantity part, right? This is the quantity and this is the price. So quantity is 750 and 500 kg. So 750 and 500 kg. This is the actual quantity. Now we'll see standard quantity. Standard quantity, how we calculate? Standard quantity is 8 kg and 4 kg. This is for 10 kg, right? But we have converted to 1000 kg this one, and when we calculated the 1000 kgs, how much it was? It was 800 kg and 400 kgs, right? So we'll put up this value here, that is 800 and 400. Okay, now for this revised standard quantity, now you don't have to worry about this one I'll show you later on. Okay, now what we have to do is we'll just put the total of the quantity. We'll not put the total of the prices, okay? We'll just put the total of the quantity. So when we calculate this, the total here it is coming to, so standard quantity is 1200 and standard actual quantity is 1250. Now what it is saying is at standard quantity you were supposed to use only 1200 quantity, but you have used actually how much it has been used? It has been used 1250 kg, right? That means you are using more than the standard. So if you are using more than the standard, that means you are spending more quantity. So that means it will be an adverse effect. Adverse effect means it is negative for the company. It is not, the company is not utilizing the resources properly. Okay, so this is the total of quantity we are putting. Now we will see how to calculate the variances. The first variance is material cost variance. Now material cost variance formula will be standard quantity into standard price minus actual quantity into actual price. Okay, now this is the formula. Now in this formula we have to put up these values whatever we have calculated. Okay, first we will see there are two materials, right? A and B. So standard quantity and standard price we'll see. Standard quantity for A is how much? Quantity means quantity column you have to say 800. So 800 into standard price. Now standard price is here 6. Then minus actual quantity and actual price. Actual quantity is 750 minus into actual price. Actual price is 7 rupees. Okay, now when we calculate this multiply with this one, we are getting 4800, then minus 750 into 7, we are getting here 5250. And here also let's put up B was standard quantity is 400 into standard price is 4 minus actual quantity is 500, actual price is 5 rupees. So when we multiply this, we are getting here 600, 1600 and here 2500, right? So after we got the values, you just calculate it, minus it, and you see here we are getting 450 and here we are getting 900, right? So when we calculate this, here 450 and 900 we are getting. Now whether it is adverse or favorable we have to know. You have to check the standard with the actual now. This part was standard and this part was actual, right? So standard was how much? You were supposed to use 4,800. You have to spend 4,800 rupees, but you spend it how much? 5,250. 450 you have spent it extra. That means your standard is less than the actual. When it is less than the actual, then we will write here adverse. We will not write negative value. Minus sign we will not write. Okay, if it is minus, then we will write here adverse. A. And here also for B, you are supposed to spend how much? 1,600 rupees, but you spend it how much? 2,500 rupees. So 900 rupees extra you spend it. That means it is also a loss. So if it is a loss, then you have to write it adverse. That is A. Okay, now after writing this, then you just total it. That is 1,350 adverse. We are getting 1,350 as adverse. Now this adverse was because of what? Because of the quantity and because of the price. Okay, standard, there was a difference between the standard and the actual. Both the quantity and the price difference was there, right? So therefore we can say MCV is equal to 1,350 adverse, right? Now under this MCV, the structure of MCV is what? This is the one. Material cost variance. Material cost variance is divided into two parts, right? Material uses variance and material price variance. The cost variance we got because of the quantity, difference in quantity and difference in price, right? See the difference here, it is given. Standard was for 800, but you spend it 750. Standard was 400, but you spend it 500. There is a difference in quantity? Yes, there is a difference in quantity. Next, in the price, you can see 6 was supposed to be spent, you spend it 7. 4 was supposed to be spent, you spend it 5 rupees. So there is difference in price also. So it is the cost, this MCV, that is material cost variance. It is the changes because of the quantity and the price, right? Now we will check this answer whether it is correct or no. To check this answer, we will have to put up two parts again. That is, first is material uses variance and material price variance. The difference was because of price and quantity. Now quantity is MUV, that is material uses variance or quantity variance. When we put this, the formula is standard quantity minus actual quantity and the rate. We are seeing the quantity, right? U is the quantity. So the difference between the standard quantity and actual quantity will be there, and this have to be multiplied with a standard price. This standard price will be fixed. Okay, and for material price variance, price is there, right? So standard price minus actual price will do, and one thing have to be constant, that is your actual quantity. Okay, this have to be fixed. Now for calculating material uses variance, we have two items, that is A and B, right? So how to calculate? First we will see the standard quantity and the actual quantity and multiply with the standard price. Standard quantity is how much? 800 minus actual quantity is how much? 750 multiplied with the standard price. Standard price for A is 6 rupees, right? So for B, same way, 400 is the standard, actual is 500, multiply with 4, that is 4 rupees. Standard price is 4 rupees. So when we calculate this, 800 was the standard. You were supposed to use only 800 materials, okay? But you have used how much? 750. That means you have used less, right? You have used less quantity of materials. That means it is good for the company that you have used less than what was supposed to be spent, right? So this is good for the company. So 50 we are getting. It is coming in plus value, right? No need to write plus here, okay? Just write the value here, multiply with 6. Next is for material B, 400 you are supposed to spend, but you have utilized how much quantity? 500 quantity, extra 100 quantity you have used it. So that means it is a loss for the company. So how much it is the loss? 100 rupees is the 100 is the loss, 100 quantity into what is the price? 4 is the price. So when we calculate this, this is coming to 300 and this is coming to 400. Now we have to see whether it is favorable or adverse. So here standard quantity was 800 and 750 quantity you used. That means it is beneficial for the company. You have used less quantity, right? So that means this is good for the company and this is in plus position, so you have to give it favorable. Now here you are supposed to use only 400 units of output, but you used 500, that is 100 is extra you used, so that is adverse, minus. Okay, so when you get the result as favorable and adverse, you have to minus it. Okay, now when you minus it, you are getting 100, and here we'll write adverse. Why we will write adverse? Because 400 adverse is higher than 300, right? Favorable, so we are writing here 100. So that means now we are getting MUV, that is material uses variance, is 100 adverse. Okay, next we will see price variance. Again A and B. Now we will see the price. Price variance is there, that's why we will see the price difference. So price difference, you can see standard price is how much? 6 minus actual price is how much? 7, and multiply with actual quantity. Actual quantity is 750. So same way for B also, 4 minus 5 multiply with actual quantity is 500. So when we calculate this is 1, this is also 1, right? So we are getting 750 and 500, right? Now we will see whether it is adverse or favorable. Now 6 rupees you were supposed to spend. Okay, when you buy that material you have to spend 6 rupees, but you spend it how much? 7 rupees. 1 rupees extra you spend. That means this is loss for the company. So it is A. Again for material B also, 4 rupees you were supposed to spend. This was the standard, right? You are supposed to spend 4 rupees, but you spend it 5 rupees. Again 1 rupees extra you spend it. That means this is also a loss for the company A. You will write that is adverse. Now after that you just add this. So we are getting 1250 adverse, right? Now price variance and uses variance, we are getting 100 as uses variance and price variance is 1250. Now when you add both this, are we getting 1350? Yes, we are getting. That is 1250 plus 100 gives us 1350. So that means we can say that our calculation is correct. Okay. Next, if the calculation is correct, it have to match. Okay, that means MUV plus MPV should give you material cost variance. And if this amount is coming the same way, then we can proceed further. Now, how to proceed further? Material quantity variance. Material quantity variance is what? Again divided into two parts, yield variance and mix variance. Now we will see how to calculate this. Okay. Now, under this material uses variance, we will just put up two part, that is your material yield variance and one is material mix variance. Okay. Now material yield variance formula will be standard quantity minus revised standard quantity into standard price, and MV will be revised standard quantity minus average quantity into standard price. Now one thing you have to see here is that when we are this MUV, that is material uses variance, okay, under this what thing we have kept it fixed? We have kept the standard price fixed, right? And this yield variance and mix variance is a part of uses variance, right? So this SP, that is standard price, will be fixed for yield variance also, it will be fixed for mix variance also. We cannot change this one, okay? The formula will be different, but the price fixed will be the same, that is the SP, because these two are the part of this one, okay? So we'll see now how to calculate this. Now here also A and B will be there, material A and B. Here also material A and B will be there, right? But then we don't know where is this revised standard quantity, right? We don't know where is this revised standard quantity. Now how to calculate this revised standard quantity, I'll tell you. Now for calculating this, what you can do is, whatever the total of actual quantity will be there, that is 1250 in this case, right? The same total we will write it here, 1250. Okay. Now 1250, after getting here, we have to find out the value of these two, A and B. Now how to find out the value of these two? It will be based on the ratio of standard quantity. Okay, now how to find out the ratio of the standard quantity? Standard quantity for A is how much? Standard quantity is 800 and B is 400, right? So 800 is to 400. Now this is too big number. So if you have to reduce it, what you can do, you can just cancel this one. And if you multiply this one, you will get 4 2s are 8 and 4 1s are 4, right? So 2 is to 1, we can take it the ratio. Now after we got this ratio, when you total it, it is 3, right? 2 plus 1 is 3. And this is belonging to A and this is belonging to B. Now how to calculate the amount for A and B? Total was how much? 1250. 1250 into A is how much? 2. 2 divided by what is the total? 2 plus 1 is 3, right? So when you calculate this, we are getting here 833 and 1250 into 1, right? B's part is only 1. 1 divided by total is 3. So we are getting here 417. So you can get in points, but you can just round it off, okay, the figures, the decimals. So we got the value now here 833 and 417, that is for A and this is for B. Now we'll put up this value here, that is 833 and 417. Okay, now we know the value of A and B in the revised standard quantity. Revised, after we have revised the quantity, how much actually they should have spended in this ratio. But they have actually done this. Okay, now we will compare this for the yield variance. What is the difference? Standard quantity is how much for A? 800 minus revised standard quantity is how much? 833. Okay. Multiply with standard price. Standard price will be fixed, that is 6 rupees. So for the same way for B, 400 was the standard quantity minus revised is 417. Multiply with the price, that is 4 rupees. So when we calculate here the difference, you can see here standard, how much actually the quantity should be used. 800 quantity was supposed to be used, but you used 833 extra you used, extra quantity you used, right? That means it is a loss for you. So that 33 into 6 you have to multiply it, then you will get here 198. Now here again for B also 400 quantity you were supposed to use, but how much you use extra? 17, right? 417 you use. So 17 is extra, that means again you have used more than the standard. So 17 is again a loss. So 17 into 4 will do, here we'll get 68. So both are loss for the company, right? So you'll write here A and A. Never write minus sign in the. Now total it, when we do total, it is coming to 266 it was. Okay, now we will see how to calculate the material mix variance. Material mix variance, again standard price multiply with revised standard quantity minus actual quantity. Now you can see here one thing, I'll make it clear here. Now in material uses variance, standard price was constant, right? So standard price was constant, and this yield variance and mix variance is a part of users variance, right? So this standard price will be same for yield variance and for mix variance also. We will not change this one, okay, standard price. Now we'll calculate this A and B. A's standard price is 6, B's standard price is 4. Revised standard quantity. Now revised standard quantity for A is 833. Now minus with actual quantity. Actual quantity is 750. And here 417 minus 500, right? So when we calculate this, again you see here revised standard quantity. You were supposed to use 833, but you used 750. You use less quantity, right? That means this is favorable for you. 83 extra, 83 less you used, right? So if you multiply with 6 into 83, you are getting here 498. Here you have to write favorable because you use less, right? Next, here 417 minus 500. You are supposed to use 417 units quantity, okay, but you use 500. That means extra 83 you have spent it more. So if you are spending extra, that means it is adverse for you. And multiply with this one, how much you will get? 4 into 83, we are getting 332. So now favorable and adverse is coming, right? Favorable and adverse, if it is coming, then you have to minus it. That is 166. Favorable you have to write. Why we will write favorable? Because 498 is favorable, right? Here 498 is higher than 332. So now when you see the material yield variance is 266 adverse and material mix variance is equal to 166 favorable, right? So when we do this, one is adverse, one is favorable. When you minus this, we are getting here 100 adverse. Yes, 266 minus 166 will give you 100 adverse. So we can say that our calculation of material uses variance is correct. Okay, but this proof, you have to do the proving for this. Now from the beginning, if you see material cost variance total we got 1350 adverse, right? So this adverse was affected by material uses variance and material price variance. When you add these two, we are getting 1350 rupees. That is material cost variance, the total. And how we got this material uses variance? It is a part of yield variance and mix variance. So this 100 we got it, we can prove it by calculating the yield variance and the material mix variance. Yield variance we got 266 adverse and material mix variance we got 166 favorable. So when you minus these two, we are getting 100 adverse. So you have to prove it according to the structure which I have shown you. So this is the answer for this question, and you have to practice more question as such. And if you understand this question, you can do any kind of problems or material variance.